Managing personal finances is an important skill for students, especially when the rising cost of living. Learning how to plan a budget can help students track their spending, avoid unnecessary expenses, and manage their resources more effectively. Mathematics, particularly matrix modeling, provide useful tools to analyze and solve financial problems, turning raw data into meaningful information for discussion making. This report titled From Data to Discussion: Optimizing Resource Through Matrix Modeling focus on applying Cramer rule and the matrix inversion method to a real-life scenarios involving student expenses. In this study, scenario 2 was chosen, where a student record weekly expenditure of food, transport, and internet usage over a period of 3 weeks. The student goal is to identify the exact amount spent in each category to create more effective and suitable personal budget. For this scenario, A represent weekly expenditure on food, B represent weekly expenditure on transport, and C represent weekly expenditure on internet. The record data is expressed as a set of simultaneous linear questions. These questions are then solved using matrix method to determine the actual weekly spending in each category. By using matrix, the report demonstrates how mathematical technique can help in everyday decision making. Understand the student spending pattern allow for better planning of limited resource, helping students balance their needs and priorities. This approach shows the mathematics is not only theoretical subject but also a practical tool to make informed choices in daily life.
Hi everyone, today I want to talk about the project on student spending. We all know the managing money as a student is hard. Sometimes you look at your bank account and wonder, where did it all go? The goal of this project is to take the guesswork out of budgeting. I'm looking at three main things we spend money on every week: food, transport, and internet. I'm using math to find out exactly how much each of does cost us and how they impact our total budget. The first objective is about getting organized. I take a student weekly spending and turn it into linear question. Think of it like a puzzle where we know the total spend, but we need to find the individual pieces. Second, I put the information into a metric. A metric is just a fancy way of saying a math table. By putting the number into this structure format, it made it much easier to solve the problem without getting confused by all the different numbers. The third objective is problem solving part. I use two specific math methods: the metric inversion method or Cramer's rule. Finally, the most important part, analysis. There is no point in doing the math if we don't learn something from it. First, we discuss the student expense for food, transport, and internet over 3 weeks. We want to find the total spending for each category. Which category spend the most, the average spending per week, and how the student can reduce expense. The question help us understand the clearly spending situation. The problem is that the student record expense but does not clearly know the total spending in each category. But of rising living costs, managing money is becoming harder. Without proper calculation, is it difficult to see spending pattern and create a good budget? So the student need to calculate the total expense and plan a better budget. We divide the work among our team member. One member calculate the data, one member analyze the spending, one member suggest budgeting ideas, one member prepare the presentation. This help us complete the project more efficiently. In conclusion, this project help us understand the importance of tracking expense and planning a proper budget.
So let's go to the calculation part. To do this calculation, we use the Cramer's rule. First, before we do the calculation, we must write our simultaneous equation in this form. And then we will change this simultaneous equation to the matrix form like this. We will separate the number in the integer. Next, the first step, we must find the determinant for this matrix form. To find the determinant, we must copy the first row and the second row and add it to our matrix 3 by 3. And then, like I show you, we will multiply the upper row like this. After we multiply the upper row, we will minus it with the answer after we multiply the lower row. We will multiply same like the upper row. After we finish multiply it, we will solve and it will be 144 minus by 172. So the determinant for this matrix is negative 28. After that, we go to the second step. The second step, we must find the determinant A. Same like before, but in this, we must change our first column to our answer. Same like this. And do the same like before, we copy the second and first row, first column. And then we will multiply same as before, 152 and 2 and next. You just multiply it same like before. And then it will be like this. After we solve it, we will minus and we get the determinant A is negative 280. So next step we will find the determinant B. Same like before, but we will change the second column with our answer. And then we will copy back the first and the second row. And then we will multiply it using this line, same like before. It will be just the same as the determinant, but we must change the column. After we minus it, we find the determinant B is negative 140. Next, we will find the determinant C. The determinant C, we just change our third column and then we will copy back the first and the second column. and then multiply using this line to better understanding, and then it will be like this. So after we solve, we minus it, and we find the determinant C is negative 840. The last step, we will find the true amount. We using x equal to determinant A or determinant B or determinant C and divide by determinant for this matrix. Okay, let's go to the final part in our calculation. We find the A. We must divide the determinant A negative 280 divided by negative 28. So we get the A, the true amount is Rm10. So B, we will divide negative 140. We will divide the 140 with negative 28. So we will get Rm5 for B answer. Lastly, we will divide C negative 840 with negative 28, and we will get the amount of C is Rm30. That's all. Let's go to the next part.
In conclusion, to manage your student budget effectively, focus on reducing variable or fixed costs strategically. First, lower food expenses by preparing about 60% of your meal in the hostel and limiting cafeteria purchase. Buying basic items like rice, egg, and oat in bulk can significantly reduce the average cost per meal. Next, apply student transport discounts such as Rapid KL, My50 or KTM. Concession cards to stabilize and reduce travel expenses. If using e-hailing service, choose share ride to split fare. For internet costs, switch from weekly top-up to fixed monthly student plan to avoid price fluctuation. Lastly, apply the round-up rule when expensive and save the extra amount as an emergency buffer. Thank you.